Cooler mornings, Saturday's game day, it comes with 90-degree temperatures. So when you add in tailgating in the mix, yeah, it can make for a very long and also a hot and draining day. Joining me to talk about game day safety and heat strokes is Dr. Susan Yeargin. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about some of those myths because Saturday is a big game. A lot of folks are going to be tailgating and maybe they want to have an adult beverage or some caffeine.
Yes, and I think that in minimal to moderate amounts, that's absolutely fine, but people should consider that if they consume those in excessive amounts, that can be dangerous. But it is a myth that caffeine can dehydrate you, as long as you're in minimal to moderate amounts. But then once we get to large amounts, then that can be a more serious situation.
Yeah, this mama is happy to hear that for sure. Now, when it comes to the temperatures outside, I was saying to Efren, folks should not let their guards down because it will be cooler, but it's going to be in the 90s. And then when you go inside the stadium, it's even hotter.
Yes, so temperatures are supposed to rise quite a bit on Saturday, and I do think people need to be on the lookout for different types of heat illnesses. And so I think that people should be aware of what they're looking for in terms of heat cramps or heat exhaustion or heat stroke. And I think people should also know that it's a myth that they all go into one another. They're each their own independent kind of condition that they should be looking for.
Okay, so tell me the number one factor I should be looking for in folks.
Sure, so the most dangerous one is heat stroke. And so you might see where somebody's personality starts to change. Maybe they start to get confused or disoriented, or it could be that they go unconscious.
And that can be hard to decipher when we have folks who are drinking.
Yes.
So noticing the difference in that. What about when it comes to toddlers? How do I notice if they're dehydrated or having a heat stroke?
Yes, for younger individuals like our children, we should be looking for them getting flushed and red and very tired and very grumpy, right? Kids will always get grumpy on a long day, but probably unusual for themselves. That's what the types of things we should be looking for.
When we head into the fall season, which doesn't start until later in September, can you still have a heat stroke in the fall season?
Yes, absolutely. You can have a heat stroke even when these temperatures get down into the 80s and 70s. And so people should be looking for those weird personality kind of changes in their friends and other tailgaters. And if they think they see heat stroke, then they should totally be calling 911 or seeking aid at one of the first aid stations inside the stadium.
You also told me don't rush to put cold water on them?
Oh, that is one of the myths. So when somebody has heat stroke, you absolutely should be putting them in cold water. And that is the best treatment to help lower a person's core body temperature. So you could use a kiddie pool that's nearby or just pour cold water on somebody to help try to lower their body temperature until more help arrives. It's also a myth that you shouldn't give cold water to someone to drink who has a heat illness. That's a common sense approach to give somebody a cold drink. It will also help lower their core body temperature and keep people safe.
Fantastic, because we want folks to get out there on Saturday and have fun, but most importantly, we want you to be safe. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Stay with us, though. We have much more to come during our second half hour of Friends of Five.